Hello dear learners, this is Dr. Sedhupathy, Assistant Professor, Department of Artificial Intelligence and Data Science, Dr. SNS Rajalakshmi College of Arts and Science, Coimbatore. So far we have discussed many things about loops like for loop, while loop, do while loop and switch case statements and different scenarios in the loops, how nested loops are accessed and how odd loops are used with different initialization, multiple initialization, different increment and decrement scenarios. So today we are going to discuss something about new keywords like break and continue. You know, the break statements are used inside some test blocks or looping statements. Okay. So the agenda for the discussion today will be about break statement and what type of situations are where the break statement can be used, which maybe matches perfectly, and why break statement is necessary for sometimes. And here is the break statement description. The break statement is a programming control flow statement that allows you to exit a loop prematurely without waiting for the loop's conditional expression evaluates to false. If you give break statement inside a loop, once the control reaches the break statement, which immediately comes out of the loop and without considering false reply from the conditional part of the loop. This is particularly useful when you want to stop the loop as soon as a certain condition is met before the loop's termination section meets. Here is situations where you can use break statement. You can understand the thing with an example, real-time example. Consider a situation or consider an example. User is going to give an integer value as input and going to write a program to check whether the input number is prime or not. Let's break down the example provided. If you want to determine whether a number is prime or not, you know what is prime number? Prime number is basically divisible only by itself and 1. So to test whether a number is prime, you can divide it by every integer starting from 2 up to 1 less than the number. For example, if you consider a number 7, if you want to check 7 is prime or not, you can check as far as with programming logic and mathematical logic whether the number 7 is divisible by from 2 to 6. If it is not, you can assume 7 as prime. If it is divided, then it is not prime. Let's see the things with an example. Here is an example how it works, how break statement is actually used. So I would like to explain briefly the main core logic. Why break statement here? Here the variable I is initialized with value 2. The while condition is started with 2, I less than or equal to num minus 1. The variable number is user input. So here the variable number is modulo divided and checks with the value 0, which means if a value is divided by a number and the remainder is equal to 0, which means the number is exactly divisible by the denominator, so which means the number is not a prime. If at least once this if condition becomes true, the input number will not be a prime number. So further you no need to check for the other conditions. You no need to increment I variable and again goes to find number divisible modulo divisible by I again. So there is no need for that situation. So you can go for the printing output as the number is not a prime. So which means there should be a condition or there should be a statement that takes the control out of the while loop. So here we are introducing break statement which moves the control totally out of the while loop. And again it says if condition never gets true, which means while loop completely executed without getting enter inside if loop, which means all the conditions are verified, so the number is prime. Finally, if I value is equal to number, the condition checked, definitely it will be true, then the result will be printed as prime number. The explanation here given for the given example program, while loop starts with I equal to 2 and it goes on. If the condition true, if true, break statement executes, then it comes out of the loop. Why is the break statement necessary? Here you can see the example. The break statement after the while loop from the example is needed because the loop can terminate in two different ways. By default, once the while loop condition terminates, control comes out of the loops. Sometimes you can break voluntarily based on certain conditions by using break statement. If the number is not prime, the loop found a divisor, the break statement executes the loop early. Otherwise, if you didn't give break statement, the loop will completely routinely checks for all the conditions until both while loops terminates. Finally, it will print the result. From this example, you can understand why break statement is necessary in certain important situations. Thank you for my dear learners for your patient listening. I will see you with some other topic very soon. Thank you so much once again.